Recently, we had a get together of old friends. We are a group of women who have known each other since the time we were little girls. We began meeting before we were married. We kept up the practice after our marriages and after becoming mothers, and now we meet at our children's wedding. Age, of course, shows its mark on us, but we go on meeting once in a while to exchange notes. Sometimes one of us joins the get together after a gap of several years, but we quickly take up the thread and connect. So much has changed in the last 25 years. Many of these changes would have been very difficult to imagine before they happened. We had many dreams and very few of them have been realized. My friend Vimla, for example, was a very beautiful girl when we were in college. Everyone used to mistake her for a film star. She was aware of her beauty and quite vain. When we met after 25 years, I could not believe that the woman in front of me was Vimla. Where had her long jet black hair gone? Where was that perfect complexion? She looked like a barrel with wrinkles all over. Her hair was grey, thin, and cut short. She talked philosophically, beauty is impermanent. When you are young, you think your beauty will last forever. But beauty is not like intelligence, she said. Intelligent people remain intelligent forever. My friend Vinutha proved this theory of Vimla's wrong. Vinutha was a very bright girl in our college. She was easily one of the best students. She used to be called a mini computer. She was gifted in every aspect. She was good looking, talented, and more importantly, very simple. There were no airs about her. We all used to wonder whom Vinutha would marry. She was so good that it would be difficult to find an equally good match. Vinutha did find a good boy while she was in college. He was very bright. We all felt that Vinutha and Partha would always remain happy and proud of each other's intelligence. How wrong we were. When I met Vinutha after many years, she looked dull. She had lost her zest for life. When she was in college, she was so full of energy, be it a college day or cooking competition or math quiz. She would be more involved than anyone else. But now her spirit was dampened by her ever taunting husband. Did you get a rank? He would needle her. Often he would ask, can you not understand such a simple thing? Or he would challenge, let us see how much time you take to solve this problem and how much time I take. Vinutha began to feel that it was a curse to be so bright. Our society is strange. The woman always enjoys her husband's glory and fame, but the reverse is seldom true. Rarely do men appreciate their wives' talents. Ratna, on the other hand, was a very ordinary girl. In every sense of the word, the unremarkable sort of person whom people seldom remember. She graduated, married, and settled down like most of our middle class or lower middle class people do. Ratna's husband, Raghu, was a clerk and a very timid person. One year, when Ratna came for our get together, we were all astounded. She had become so different. She was a leading businesswoman now and had received many awards. She was very fashionable too. So remarkable was the transformation that we just stared at her for a while. Vimla asked Ratna to tell us her story. It's the typical rags to riches story, all right, said Ratna. After marriage, I realized that my husband was an excellent assistant rather than a leader. He always listened to somebody. In the family, my mother-in-law was the boss. Psychiatrists say that if parents were very domineering, then the child will either become very rebellious and difficult to control or else become timid and docile. Maybe Ratna's Raghu belonged to the later category. Ratna continued, I realized that I had to make my own decisions, otherwise, I would remain forever a slave to my mother in law. I decided that I must become economically independent. I was not very talented or skilled, as you know. My academic record was average. With this background, it was difficult to get a job. The one thing I knew was stitching garments, so I started stitching at home. Initially, I worked with cloth and later with leather. I soon understood the business very well and expanded my work to suit the taste of my customers. When did you shift to condiments? We asked. Once I was successful with garments, I diversified to home products. Nothing succeeds like success. I always consider the customer as a god. Work for the customer's satisfaction, not for your satisfaction. That principle pays. Life is a great teacher. I learnt everything by experience, by learning something from each of my mistakes. I learned not to repeat them. We were both surprised and delighted at Ratna's courage and the turnaround in her life. We had all thought that Vinutha would be very successful and Ratna would be mediocre, but things turned out totally different. At 20, we were idealists. At 40, we had become realists.